Tonight on CTV News at 5.
The biggest thing is just people plan ahead.
Deep freeze defense, extreme cold calls for special caution.
Typically, an 8x10 could take 30 to 40 hours of a pet portrait. Scenes of Nova Scotia can take me 80 to 100 hours.
To the point, a Nova Scotia man only needs a pencil to turn blank pages into beautiful creations.
Would be their greatest, most important birthday present for the town of Glace Bay.
If these walls could talk, residents hope to breathe new life into an old building.
Cold weather warnings are in effect as the region contends with a frigid wind chill into and through the weekend.
Live from the Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening. Happy Friday. Welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Maria Penopalis. Thanks for joining us. First at 5 tonight, cold cautions. A brutal blast of Arctic air is about to send us into a deep freeze. Those plunging temperatures come with a long list of risks, from frozen pipes to frostbite. CTV's Vanessa Wright joins us now with some important information to protect your home and your loved ones. Hi, Vanessa.
Hi, Maria. Well, these temperatures are no joke, and with what lies ahead, the best form of defense is preparation.
A polar blast is creeping up on the Maritimes, with frigid temperatures settling in Friday night. Environment Canada has issued weather warnings as wind chills as low as -37 are expected in some parts of the region.
The biggest concern when we see big drops in temperature is things like frostbite and hypothermia. And so we want to make sure people, when they're going outside, they're dressed appropriately. They have a number of layers on, they're wearing their scarf, hat, gloves, they're wearing the appropriate footwear.
Oh, you're okay.
And humans aren't the only ones who need to bundle up.
So really cold temperatures are a danger to pets. And people need to be aware that they need to keep their pets inside when it's really cold or outside for very short periods.
Just as people, pets should be dressed warmly.
One thing they can do is put a coat on like Zoe has here. Even though she's still shivering, she won't be outside long. So it's those short walks. Sometimes you get booties for your dogs because when they step on salt, it might get embedded in their paws.
Meanwhile, Halifax Water says crews are on standby and that with these freezing temperatures,
there is a risk that a pipe could burst inside residents' home. If that were to happen, they should close their shutoff valve.
They also recommend customers ensure there is a safe heat source in their home.
So that's typically in folks' basements or near a utility closet, near your water meter. And if you do end up losing water services during the cold, check the Halifax Water website and our social media to determine that there could be just an outage in your area.
Both the utility and Dr. Summers encourages people to have a 72-hour emergency kit.
With supplies for medicines, water, food for as long as 72 hours. We've had situations in the past where we had really severe ice storms and cold weather, and people didn't have access to power or ability to go to the grocery store. So it's important to be ready as well.
Dr. Summer says if you don't have to go outside, stay in. It's also a good idea to have an emergency kit in your car and to fill up your gas tank before heading out. Maria?
A lot of sense. Thank you very much, Vanessa. CTV's Vanessa Wright for us in, well, not in the news center, just outside of the news center. That actually brings us to tonight's web poll. We are asking, do you take steps to prepare for winter weather? These are your options. Yes, I always make an effort to be prepared, or yes, but only in cases of extreme weather. Final option, no, I don't do anything to prepare. Go to ctvnewsatlantic.ca to weigh in. All right, keeping with the weather, Bruce Frisco standing by at the anchor desk now. Hi, Bruce.
Hey, Maria, you're absolutely right. We're going to be talking much more about that cold and the impending snow. Coming up tonight on CTV News at 6, in just a moment, we'll hear from Kayland. Demand on the grid is expected to be higher than normal over the weekend as the temperature falls. This latest blast of winter comes just days after a heavy snowfall left thousands of people without power. We'll have the latest for you tonight, CTV News at 6. Also, we're learning more about that mystery neurological illness in New Brunswick. Province's chief medical officer of health sharing an update today and all but ruling out certain metals and herbicide. This after hundreds of blood and urine tests. We'll have those details coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. And also tonight, a Moncton woman has finally been approved for a life-saving transplant organization. She has to travel to Toronto for the surgery, but she's hit a roadblock when it comes to transportation. Needs the New Brunswick government to cover the cost. We'll have those details when you join us tonight for CTV News at 6. Okay, right now we'll head over to the CTV Atlantic Weather Center. I feel like more and more this has become your Super Bowl weekend.
It's certainly going to be a busy one for me, that's for sure. And we begin by talking about the cold that's going to be moving into place tonight and for the weekend. It's not around the Maritimes quite yet. Again, it is moving into place as we move through tonight and into the start of the weekend. You can see temperatures right now, though, are sitting a few to several degrees below zero across most of the region, and down to around -12 now in Edmundston, the northwest of New Brunswick. That is where some of that polar air is starting to move into place, accompanied by a blustery wind. And we can actually see with the wind chill value right now for Edmundston, it's feeling around -19, but moving through tonight, large parts of the Maritimes are expected to get into some wind chills, making it feel into the -20s, and in some cases, the -30s. Taking a look then at those winds, out of the west and the northwest are being sustained between 15 and 30 kilometers per hour. We're getting some gusts reported between around 30 and 50 kilometers per hour. The wind gusts will remain blustery for both tonight and for tomorrow. That's one of the reasons why wind chill is going to be a factor for us. We have cold warnings in effect by Environment Canada across the province of New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and the north of Nova Scotia, calling for, at times this weekend, some wind chills making it feel between -30 and -39. And remember, there is a risk of frostbite to exposed skin in 30 minutes or less when those wind chill values make it feel -28 or colder. Here's how the wind chills are expected to develop across the Maritimes as we move through tonight into the start of the day for tomorrow. By around midnight, temperatures feeling well down to the -teens for Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island, but feeling into the -20s. In the case of the northwest New Brunswick, -30s. And for the start of the day for tomorrow, wind chill values making it feel down to the -20s region-wide, except -30s for parts of PEI and areas of New Brunswick. Much more to talk about in the weather when I'm back a little bit later on, Maria.
Thank you, Kaylin. What a difference a week makes. All right, on to our next story here. A new exhibit opened at the Dalhousie Art Gallery last night featuring Black art, music, and dance. CTV's Jim Quammen shows us why it's about time.
We're opening a new exhibition called It's About Time. And so this is a nationally touring exhibition that's looking at the overlooked histories of Black dance in Canada. And this particular iteration is special because for the first time it's showcasing contemporary artists from Nova Scotia as well as archival materials from Nova Scotia as well.
In the exhibition you'll find archival materials that document social dances, newspaper clippings that document advocacy for people being allowed to dance in different venues. A large part of this exhibition is that it's grounded in legislation that impacted where and when and how Black people could come together, dance, socialize, and engage in their leisure lives. You'll also find photographs and videos of performing artists who worked throughout the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s in Canada. And now, at this new iteration, you'll find materials from the Nova Scotia archives of wonderful photographs of people dancing in Nova Scotia in the 1950s, and the new commissions by artists. We have visual artists, performing artists, literary artists who have contributed to this exhibition.
My work is like deeply rooted in cultural exploration of African and cultural preservation of African Nova Scotian life and community and art. I created this work in response to the exhibition It's About Time.
Thank you. What an entertaining way to bring some forgotten history to light. All right, going to take a break here on CTV News at 5, but first, a couple of the stories still to come. Take a look.
I'm Brianne Foley at Upward Kitchen's The Nook, where they understand that it takes a village. We find out how the community is coming together to feed those in need, coming up tonight on CTV News at 5.
I'm Ryan McDonald in Glace Bay. 2026 marks this community's 125th anniversary. And as an anniversary present of sorts, the community's Old Town Hall Museum is hoping for some funding so that these old walls can remain in the downtown for many more years to come. The story is coming up.
Welcome back. This year, Glace Bay celebrates their 125th anniversary. And to mark the milestone, as CTV's Ryan McDonald shows us, the people who run the Heritage Museum, its old town hall building, hope to breathe new life into the old walls.
If these walls could talk, they might tell the story of a town's history.
This place was Glace Bay's town hall, and it was built in 1902, finished 1903.
Or of people who were imprisoned here more than a century ago.
The basement of the old town hall was the police station and the jails.
This year marks Glace Bay's 125th anniversary, and now the people who operate the old town hall as a local heritage museum hope for funding to keep the building from falling into disrepair.
There is water coming through the basement walls, and you know what happens to a house with a bad foundation.
The top 2 floors are filled with history and artifacts and have been done over quite nicely. One of the hopes now is to restore the basement, which still looks like it would have generations ago.
It's an icon in the community. It's a big building, stands out, and a lot of people use it. We have cruise ships, people come in.
Our history's there. We have a very rich history in coal mining and fishing.
The museum's board of directors would like to see help from all 3 levels of government. The area's councillor says information is being collected to see what might be able to be done at the municipal level.
Those talks are taking place. We haven't gone to council yet.
For now, a structural engineer is expected to visit next week, which might give the people who take care of this museum a better idea of what they need, but they figure that a milestone anniversary like the town's 125th is occasion enough to start asking.
It would be their greatest, most important birthday present for the town of Glace Bay.
Hoping to preserve these old walls for years to come. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Glace Bay.
Thank you very much, Ryan. CTV's Kaylin Mitchell joins us now. My God, Kaylin, you have been so very busy today in here.
What does the weekend forecast and kitchen appliances have in common?
Oh, I'm not sure what.
Frigidaire.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, very cold coming up this weekend. And of course, it's going to be the cold before the potential snowstorm on Monday. We're looking at a pretty winter scene here along the Sydney River with a view of Coxheath Mountain underneath a bit of blue sky for today. I'm going to have more on that forecast after the break.
Welcome back. They say if you want something done, give it to a busy person. So, Kaylin, you're up because I know you've got a lot of moving parts today.
No more. I have my plate very, very full here in the Weather Center. It's about as much as I can deal with. Let's take a look at our sunrise and sunset times. And for that, we're going to go to a view of some flurries falling over the Shubenacadie River in Nova Scotia for today. We are seeing some flurries and a few snow squalls as this polar front begins to make its way through. And there's actually a continued risk of some snow squalls for a few parts in the Maritimes as we make our way through the first part of the weekend. On our weather systems map, barometric pressure is about middle of the road right now. As we zoom out, the storm system that we're watching for at the start of next week, potentially some heavy snow for areas of the Maritimes. That's starting off with what's going on down the southern U.S. right now with this Texas low developing. They're looking at a major winter storm through parts of the southern U.S. with very heavy snow as well as freezing rain as that storm system will ride up along part of the edge of that very cold air that has broken down over a large part of the continent. Basically a perfect setup for a heavy snow, heavy ice situation through southern parts of the U.S. That's eventually going to trigger the development of a nor'easter around the eastern seaboard. That'll happen on Sunday, and it's that nor'easter that has the potential to bring us our second big snow event for basically 2 Mondays here in the Maritimes. So taking a look at what's going on radar right now, we do have some flurries and some snow squalls making their way through parts of the region. In fact, there's a snow squall warning out for some northern areas of New Brunswick. Just ended for Madawaska County, but still out for basically the eastern part of Restigouche County, and a snow squall watch extending towards Bath. There's some squalls present there, could produce some local snowfall totals up to around 5 centimeters. As we move through tonight into tomorrow morning, it's parts of Nova Scotia that'll have to watch out for some snow squalls. The Tri-County region, Digby, Yarmouth, Shelburne counties, maybe parts of the Annapolis Valley, the North Shore of Nova Scotia, and in Cape Breton, especially Inverness and Victoria counties. That happens as this very cold northwest wind blows over the ocean waters of the Gulf of St. Lawrence, Northumberland Strait, and the Bay of Fundy, bringing in with it onshore flurries and the risk of some snow squalls. And a snow squall watch has been issued for Inverness and Victoria counties in Cape Breton. You can see, especially up to the highlands there, the potential for some higher snowfall snowfall amounts, but I'd also caution the potential of some snow squalls down around the southwest of Nova Scotia. There's that snow squall watch. It extends from Saturday morning into Sunday morning, and some of the more intense squalls, they could end up producing some snowfall amounts of up to around 15 centimeters. Here's a look at our winds for tonight and for tomorrow. So remaining out of the northwest and remaining a little bit gusty as well, with gusts between 20 and 50 kilometers per hour. That's going to contribute to the biting wind chill that we're going to be feeling for both later tonight as well as throughout the day on Saturday. Taking a look at lows in the forecast for tonight, low temperatures will be falling well down to the minus teens and minus 20s for New Brunswick for tonight, down to around minus 16 for Charlottetown and Prince Edward Island. Most of the lows for Nova Scotia between minus 10 and minus 15. For parts of the Maritimes, those are the highs for tomorrow as well. Nova Scotia, high temperatures minus 10 to minus 15. Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, the high near minus 16. High temperatures for New Brunswick between minus 14 and minus 18. Now, Sunday's forecast. During the day, no big weather concerns other than the very cold air in place. Yes, that colder temperatures extend all the way through the end of the weekend, as you can see by the highs in the forecast for Sunday. It's what comes up Sunday night into Monday that's a bigger concern for us for the Maritimes. It's another nor'easter. We have a winter storm watch. It's already been posted for the southwest of Nova Scotia. It's for Sunday night into Tuesday morning. This one is a slower mover, so parts of the Maritimes are likely to experience snowfall through the day on Monday, even into Monday night, and maybe a little bit more snow to come during the early morning hours of Tuesday. So it's winter storm watch in the southwest of Nova Scotia, possible 20 to 30 centimeters of snow. A special weather statement extends across the south of New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, the remainder of Nova Scotia. Same period of time, Sunday night through Tuesday morning, potential snowfall amounts between 10 and 25 centimeters. Watch that forecast throughout this weekend. Let's take a look at our weather watcher for tonight. And tonight's weather watcher is coming in from 11-year-old Kellen Ferguson from Bridgewater, Nova Scotia. Kellen has sent us a drawing of a mixed weather day featuring both some sun and some rain showers. Weather watchers can come into CTV Weather Watchers, P.O. Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia, B3J2Z4, or email kalen.mitchell@bellmedia.ca. Maria.
Thank you very much, Kaylin. So over the past week, we saw a lot of snow and power outages right across the region, and that led one local cafe to do something special. As CTV's Brianne Foley shows us, extra meals go a long way.
Sweet and sour. Part of our mission here is to get everybody who needs food, food.
Thanks to school closures this week, the Nook has donated over 3,200 meals to community partners.
And this week we had a snow day, but we end up, because we produce 4,000 to 5,000 meals a day, with those extra 4,000 to 5,000 meals, particularly for the school lunch program, that don't have a home. And so we started last year really quickly finding like the community fridges.
That extra food went to more than 15 organizations, including Souls Harbor.
This week we did get 1,400 meals dropped off yesterday because schools were closed on Monday. So we kept half of them and we've been passing them out to the guests as they're leaving, so they have another food source at home just in case.
One lady came in today. She was there when the food arrived at Souls Harbor, and they were just blown away by the amount of food that we were able to give them.
It's a reminder that the ability to get healthy food is a daily challenge for many, especially throughout January.
Where are there neighborhoods that don't have access to food? How can we make sure there is access? Because that's what we're really facing. If people have to make a choice, they can only hit a corner store and they have a limited budget. We want to make sure our food fits in that budget, or if you don't have a budget, you can come see us and we'll take care of you.
For both sides, from cooking to receiving, it's about community.
Bringing to light the family that we are creating within our community, and that's, you can't get any more special than that.
Because of the relationship we have with everyone we serve every day, there's trust and there's the safety there.
Proving it does take a village to feed those in need. Brianne Foley, CTV News, Halifax.
Oh, I just love this story, feeding the need and also no waste and just kind hearts as well. All right, time for our final break here on CTV News at 5, but here's a preview of our final story of the night.
Hi, my name is Mark Guthrie, and coming up, I'll show you the process of my pencil here.
Welcome back. So you don't always need a canvas to create works of art. As CTV's Mike Lamb shows us, a Lower Sackville man only needs paper and a pencil to draw his remarkable portraits.
My name is Mark Guthrow, and I've been doing pencil art since the age of 8. I do a lot of scenes around Nova Scotia and a lot of commission pieces for clients, and it's an absolute love for me to do. I love being able to do processes for people and put memories for them from their photographs and turn those into pencil artwork for them that they'll keep forever. While I was 8 years old, I had the chicken pox and I was bored. So I started taking my little wildlife books, going through the photographs and doing little 5-minute pencil sketching from all the animals that were in there. My mother did watercolors. She would take lots of courses, and she would teach me a little bit about shading. My grandfather, he painted, he did everything, pencil work, ink. So at the old Dartmouth Museum, my mother and myself and some paintings from my grandfather, we did a 3-generation show, which was fairly unique. What I do is I basically sketch out the subject matter. Once you have all the lines in the right proportion that you want, I'll do all the line drawing, and after that, then I'll start slowly working in and putting in some more details. I do a lot of pet portraits, pets that either are still here or have passed on, and it's a memento that my clients treasure forever. My pencil drawings I've put into a calendar of Nova Scotia scenes. I take all my own photographs and I work from those. Tourists love that because it's something that's very unique and it represents of the province, and people tell me they send the calendars all over the world, which is just a thrill for me. I do anywhere from 5x7 up to much larger, but typically an 8x10 could take 30 to 40 hours of a pet portrait. Scenes of Nova Scotia can take me 80 to 100 hours. It's really meaningful when somebody asks me to do a piece for them because I know it means a lot to them to ask me to do something and to entrust me to do a work for them, something that's going to be very important for them for many, many years. And I feel honored when anybody asks me to do something for them.
It's mind-blowing how beautiful these portraits are. They almost look like black and white photos, not drawings, sketches with a pencil. By the way, you can get in touch with Mark Guthrow through his website or on Instagram if you'd like him to maybe do a custom one for yourself.
They're incredible.
Amazing.
Detail is fantastic. Well, of course, coming up at 6, I'm going to see what I can do about shading in the details of the weekend weather forecast and what's coming up at the start of next week. I mean, can we call this weekend the cold before the storm?
Yeah, that's a good way to phrase it.
It is another nor'easter potentially coming through on Monday, some heavy snow along with it. So again, I'll recap that coming up at 6.
You'll be here at 6 with Bruce. I'll see you on Monday. Good night, everyone. Have a great weekend.